I think I have a ghost in my phone. It just stopped. Maybe it didn't agree with me. Maybe my phone didn't agree that Rose Run Why Not's as good as I thought. It was calling shenanigans on me. When it comes to Rose Run Why Not, I'm going to stand by what I've said about her all along. Very nice filly, bright future, but geez, that was a crappy race today, and it certainly wasn't a race. You don't drive a horse like that and come off and say, oh, this horse raced terrible. That was beyond terrible. That was, hey, there's something wrong here. So are we going to see an elevated AST, muscle count, liver count, something like that? Probably. And at that point, I gotta ask myself, do we continue moving forward with in November with Rose Run Why Not? It's getting close, but at the same time, I don't really want to end her year on that note. Man, oh man, that was disgusting. So, that was upsetting. That was crushing. It started my day off. As a driver, when you start off that day, when you think you got, the way she crossed over to the front, you think you're gonna have a good day, and then that happens. It almost kneecaps you, and you're like, oh. Man, it just takes the wind out of your sails. Then I drive Changing of the Guard. He actually raced pretty good for a horse that had raced, 12 days, 13 days ago. And then he arrived here and he ended up with a track rash. Then he ended up, his blood was a little messed up. So Tim was trying to get it right. This is a horse, he needs to come in firing on all cylinders. He's not a horse that, he won in 58, but he can win in 58 in a piece if he's not good. No. He's a 3-year-old. He's a big, gangly colt. I think that maybe he needs, this is another colt that might need a rest at some point, but we were trying to sell him. I'm not really into resting him. I'd like to see him come to life, and, what I saw today was a flicker of the horse that won at Northfield, but at the same time, as I said, coming in a little bit short, because he had that rash. Normally we would hook him in the bike on Thursday and go a mile in 2 minutes, done, tight as a fiddle string, but because of that rash and because of his blood being a little messed up, couldn't do that. So not only was he short, but he was physically not 100% to race today, but raced very well. Was beat, a length and 3/4, 2 lengths in 59. It was just a rotten day too, cold, miserable day, which goes to show you what kind of mile that was at a White Tiger today. Every so often, Tiger has to be reminded that it's time to work, and Tiger does remind us how good he actually is. 54-1 on a cold day with the wind blowing. Just look at the other races. None of the front end held up, except for Stonebridge Simba. 30-3 on the end of it. The last quarter, the last 3/8, the last half, the mile he went was just ultra impressive. But we know he can do that, right? So my day got off to a rotten start with Rose Run Why Not, and I felt bad for her just because I love that filly so much. And then Changing the Guard, I was like, not really surprised, I guess. I think that's fair. I saw that coming. And then White Tiger was like, wow, that's the White Tiger we were all waiting for a while. And then Oh So Pine, I thought he'd fire today, but, go back and look at the program. Most horses that people left with didn't finish up their miles at all. And, I got him out of the gate. The horse that I was following walked. I got up and beat him for 6th. But it just wasn't a great day for leaving, I guess. And I'm making excuses. And I said to Tim, I said, hold on. He was climbing over them in 55 on a beautiful day. They went in 55 today, and it was a miserable day. I left hard with him. He didn't seem as good, but at the same time, let's draw his blood. There was a little mucus, but nothing there that would make you say, oh, well, that's why. No. So let's draw his blood and see what we can find. I suspect we'll find a little something lingering there. When this weather changes from hot to cold, I get it, you get it, and so do the horses, right? They get that congestion, that stuffiness. The only difference is they don't think they have COVID. Every time everybody coughs, you're like, first thing you do, look, make sure nobody saw you. Second, you're like, do I got it? Do I get the COVID? But anyway, everybody, it's the fall. Everybody gets congested. I know I do, and so does so do many of the horses. So that could have been part and parcel of why Oh So Pine raced poorly. Who knows? And then Simba went out. I knew the front end wasn't good today, but he's not going to get beat in there. And it was funny around the last turn. Aaron's climbing all over me, and he moves him over, and I can feel Simba kind of kick forward coming out of the turn. Now we come 30-3, but that was all the turn. We were just walking. The wind was just howling, and we were just walking through the turn. As we come out of the turn, Simba always kicks on a little bit anyway. He's got an open bridle on. He knew he had the race won. I open up a length and a quarter, and Aaron comes out of the 2-hole, And he comes out and he goes, look at this. Now I'm going to get beat for second. And I turn around and look, and I see Chris Shaw coming. And I'm looking at him, and I'm looking right at Aaron. I tuck my whip away, and I'm looking at him. And then right under the wire, I said, I think you're going to beat for second. So it's fun. This is a good group of guys to drive with. I've known Aaron quite a while, and it's a good group of guys to drive with. And, you know, it was well worth coming up here today. Obviously, I was heartbroken over Rose Run. Why not? But she'll bounce back. But that's the question. That's the question rattling around in my head. Is she going to bounce back this year? Am I going to race her again? I don't know. I really don't know. I want to see the blood. If her blood doesn't come back that bad, then I have to believe she's a little bit tired somehow. It's a long year. You might say, oh, she only had a few starts. But keep in mind, she was broke at the same time everybody else. She put in the same work everybody else did. In fact, she put in more. She broke her knee, came back, rehabbed, trained down again, and is now racing. I can tell you this much. She's trotting as good as I would ever believe she would have trotted. I tell our clients all the time who she reminds me of. All the time. Spirit of Dio. She trots like her. She feels like her. She's powerful like her. She has her bad days like her also. So I'm not worried about Rose Run. Why not? The only worry I have is, do we race her again? I don't want to race her just to win a purse or win a maiden. I'd like to get a 2-year-old mark on her. I'd like to let her feel the joy. And for the people that don't understand, horses, they like winning too, right? At least the ones with any class. They like winning. And to get this filly into the winner's circle, I think, would be good for her also. So that's it. Racing's done. I had 8 drives, 3 wins. A couple were no good. 1 made a break. I could have had a lot more wins, to be honest, but be thankful for what you're given. I had 3 wins today, and it was a good day. Stonebridge Simba, come back a winner. White Tiger, long overdue for a win, but man, that was some kind of win. And then, and now I'm off. I'm going to gas up here. I'm at the Meadows at the gas station outside. I'm going to gas up the car, head back to Maryland. I'm going to get back there tonight, and then bright and early tomorrow. They had some problems in Maryland today. One of the viewing tents where they had, I don't know how many horses, blew over. This is we're not talking about a little tent in the front yard with your kids. This is a tent with 3 consignments of horses in it, and it toppled. So one of the workers, Elizabeth Cheeseman, got hurt. Hope she's okay. I think everybody else was all right, but a pretty scary scene, I would imagine. You may imagine being trapped under a tent with 100 horses or whatever, how many of our horses flipping out. It's not a good scene. So, you know, just another, does this surprise me with 2020? No. Nothing at all. If somebody said, do you believe an asteroid landed in Maryland last night? Nothing would surprise me in this year. Nothing. Not an alien abduction, not an alien, you know, landing anywhere. Nothing about 2020 now is surprising to me. Somebody said the tent blew over in Maryland. Well, sounds about right. Yep, it's 2020. What are you going to do? So hopefully everybody's all right. Hopefully they got the tent back up if they do, and they did. I already saw all the horses we were looking at in that tent, so it's okay. I'm going to be there tomorrow early. We're going to look at all the horses from Hanover, all the horses from Blue Chip. I still have a number of horses to look at, a couple that I actually missed also. So keep in mind, we are not coloring outside the lines. I've said this over and over and over again. This week is going to be the most conservative I've ever been at a sale under the stable.ca banner. So if you're interested in a horse, let me know. I had I don't even think they're clients of ours. People messaged me today and said, I saw your video. We're interested in a piece of this horse if you acquire this horse. Okay, we'll see, maybe. So I appreciate people get it. If you're out there and you're watching this video and you want to be a part of what we're doing at the stable.ca, you want to be a part of the Timonium sale, you want to buy a piece of a yearling in 2020, feel free to reach out. You can reach out to me at Anthony@thestable.ca. You can message me on Facebook, Twitter. You can call me, 519-400-4263. There's no reason not to get a hold of me. So if you're interested, let us know. I know a lot of our clients have already. We're piecing together these groups now, and we'll see what we get. So back to Maryland right now. This is it for the Meadows, your Monday Meadows report that I've been doing every week. This is it for the Meadows. I went 3 for 8 today. The stable went 2 for 5 today. The one filly raced bad. The other horse was 4th, raced adequate. And then the other guy was 6th. A little bit of a flat mile. We'll see what went on there. But 2 big wins and a massive win from White Tiger. So I'm leaving here not with a massive smile on my face, but a smile on my face. Take care. I'll talk to you. I will talk to you tomorrow.